We are live.
All right. We're out here once again on the highways and the byways, the chief place of concourse, out here to prophesy against this wicked kingdom, which in the Bible is known spiritually as Sodom and Egypt, Mystery Babylon, amongst other things. First and foremost, we're going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Quadash. Shalom to you, sincere Akim, out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And shalom to the few sincere Akwaf that are out there listening and learning as well. With that being said, Adawan Ratazadis be edifying. As usual, we're going to go into Rakah Quadash. And we're living in beautiful times, man. Beautiful, beautiful times for the hopeful elect. And before we get started, we opened up with giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, who you ignorantly call God. God has many titles, but he has one true name in the ancient Hebrew, the Lashawan Quadash, the Paleo Hebrew, the pure tongue. His name is Yahweh. He is, he to be. And his only begotten son's name in the ancient Hebrew is Yahweh Shai. He saves, he delivers. And those are the names that you have to call upon in the times that we're living in for salvation. And as you can see, we're living in perilous times, evil times, bad times. And we're going to need saving. Saving from primarily this devil, Esau Edom, a so-called white man. He's coming down with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time. It's looking like he's trying to collapse the economy. Okay? You want to say anything?
No, you got it out.
We're going to start with Habakkuk, chapter 2, from the top, 2 and 1. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to say what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And the tables that he's talking about are these scriptures, these prophecies. They're plain to the servants of the Lord. Hold me that, Baba Kasha. The Lord said, surely he will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. We are the ones that can fully understand what's going on through the Rakah Quadash and these prophecies. Everything we see, we're filtering it through the scriptures.
God. This is Jeremiah.
Salakia. You've got a lot of financial advisors, a lot of economic watchmen, you know, and they're making all these type of forecasts of what's about to happen, but they don't have a proper understanding. Everybody can see that the economy's collapsing, the dollar's collapsing. Everybody can see that the tensions are getting higher and higher in the Middle East, but they can't lock it down. They have pieces of the puzzle, but they can't put the whole puzzle together. Why? Because they're lacking the key ingredient, the scriptures. The scriptures tells you what's about to happen. That's why the Bible, matter of fact, they said the last week, Bible sales been through the roof.
Yep.
Why? Because the Bible is the only prophetic book in the world. The Bible is the only book that has prophecies. Things that have happened in the past, things that are happening as we speak, and things that are shortly to come.
Yeah.
And there's only a handful of prophecies that are left to play out. And we're seeing them being manifested right in front of our eyes. And it's exciting to see.
God. And if I can say this, we're coming into a time where, God damn, demon recording. We're coming into a time where things are getting so bad in the world
Step back, brother.
that people are looking for answers. All right? The economy is getting so bad that people are looking at each other and like, what is going on? They're looking for answers. And this is why the Heavenly Father has put the men of the Lord on the highways and byways to warn the people, okay, of the impending doom that's on the horizon before it happens. So there's no cloak for your sins. Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and evil and of pestilence.
That's what's on the horizon. The Third World War. You had not too long ago. You had China surrounding Taiwan. You had DJ Trump threatening Iran. And hey, DJ Trump looking like a madman. He's looking unstable. First, he was talking about bombing Iran to smithereens, bombing them beyond World War II. You know, oh, you don't hear no talks about that no more. Now he's backpedaling on the terrorists. He's looking unstable. He's looking crazy. Matter of fact, that's prophecies.
Con.
James chapter 1, verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. 1 minute he talking about these nations kissing his ass.
Yep.
Next minute he telling you to be cool. You know?
Yep.
And that's why the stock market is volatile, because of uncertainty. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows where to put their money, because this man is a madman.
Yep.
He's talking about a 90-day pause. He could change his mind on Monday. Matter of fact, they talking about this man was doing insider trading,
Con.
stock market manipulation.
Yep.
So this man is a madman, but he's the right guy. He's the fall guy. He's the scapegoat, the king of Babylon, that cruel lord. He don't really have you people's best interests at heart. He has the best interest of his owners, his handlers. Because you best believe DJ Trump is bought and paid for. By who? These elites.
Yep. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people.
He's not a wise judge. Matter of fact, he surrounded himself with a bunch of fools. He didn't surround himself with seasoned politicians. His cabinet is fairly young,
Con.
inexperienced,
Con.
technocrats. What they know about policy and lawmaking, you know?
God.
And you're seeing,
Hey, if I'm not mistaken, it reminds me of the story of Rehoboam and Jeroboam, man. If I'm not mistaken, the account when he surrounded himself with his friends and young men, instead of listening to the advice of his father, the aged men that had wisdom and had experience. And just like the brother said, that's exactly what Trump is doing, man. All right. You know, when you even looked at the cabinet or the members, the founding members of Doge, these were all young technocrats. You know, guys in their early 20s, young men. And this is what Trump has surrounded himself with. All right?
And you have wise men all throughout Babylon. Just a few off the top of my head, you got Colonel McGregor.
Yep.
He's a seasoned, he's in the military-industrial complex. You know, you got Richard Wolff. He's a seasoned economic analyst with well-known degrees, you know?
Yep.
Peter Schiff. You got a lot of wise men in Babylon, but that's not who he's pertaining to.
Yep.
You know? So this is real quick. Proverbs 1 and 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning. Even his own Republican constituents. You had some of them telling him tariffs was a bad move.
Yeah.
Many people told him that was a bad move. You know?
Yep.
Oh, Putin told you it was a bad move. You know, anybody with any type of brain can see that trade wars lead to real wars.
Exactly.
What he's doing is crippling the global economy. But he's got orders, man. He was sent in there on a mission. The mission is to collapse this fiat system, this paper money, but do it in a controlled manner.
Con.
Just as in 1929, when the stock market started to collapse, right before the Great Depression, they were trying to control the collapse. They were trying to control the run on the banks. History repeats itself. The similarities between 1929 and what's going on right now is uncanny.
Con.
The Republican Party was the party in charge of the Great Depression. Oh, matter of fact, certain names are being thrown around from 1929, i.e. J.P. Morgan. He was a major figure in that Ponzi scheme, in that credit debacle, you know?
God.
But it says, Proverbs 1:5, a wise man will hear and will increase learning. Trump ain't trying to learn nothing, just like you people ain't trying to learn nothing, because you people are simple. You ain't about being edified. You want to hear smooth things.
Con.
You want to hear America's going to be great again. You want to hear America's going to build back greater and better. The prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are slain. So it says, a wise man will hear and will increase learning. Just like I put up videos and shit so you can get edified, you know? Them videos don't get no views, no likes, no clicks, because they ain't about learning, man. They want to be entertained.
Entertained. Con.
It says, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels.
Exactly.
But he ain't trying to attain unto wise counselors.
Nope.
Hence why his cabinet looks the way it does.
Yeah.
A bunch of inexperienced dummies.
Yep. Exactly.
Look at Elon Musk. Everybody got all their trust in Elon Musk. We're gonna go to Mars. This nigga can't even build a Tesla truck right, bro. You know?
Yeah,
This nigga can't even keep the fucking steel panels from falling off the goddamn Tesla trucks.
Yeah.
All them Teslas got all type of fucking recalls, man.
Yep.
But this the man that's gonna take it to Mars?
Oh, man.
You goddamn people are a bunch of buffoons.
Oh, man.
You gonna say something?
If you're finished, I wanted to bring up the account of Rehoboam real quick, just to get us.
Let me finish with Habakkuk, and I can move on from it.
Okay.
Habakkuk 2:1, 2 and 2.
Wait, do you want me to finish Salaki? I don't know. I didn't finish my Ecclesiasticus. Do you want
I
me
don't
to?
know, brother.
All right, it says Ecclesiasticus 10 and verse 1.
Like I said, you like to move on without nailing shit down, bro. You like to leave too many loose ends, man. You know, I like to do things decently in order. You know, finish and move on.
Yeah, Con, I didn't finish it.
Go ahead.
You had brought out a point.
Yeah, you're gonna go to that. That's gonna lead to something else. You gotta. You know what I'm saying?
Con, it says a wise judge will instruct. Well, go ahead, pull that out. Then.
No,
Go on.
finish what you know. That you started to go into that.
It says a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
So just like DJ Trump is unstable, double-minded, you don't know what to expect from him, the same thing with these people. They're on an emotional roller coaster. You know?
Yep.
And they're about to snap. They're one bit of bad news and they're gonna lose it, man.
Yep.
People are already losing it.
Yep.
You had in the news this dude that working at Walmart, he shot up his co-workers, went to their homes and shot them up. People losing their minds, man.
Yep.
You know? People all over social media complaining about DJ Trump shorting the market. People complaining about their 401ks being wiped out. These people are on edge, man, and they're gonna lose it.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, when people have nothing left to lose, they lose it. That's why we know there's gonna be sedition in the streets.
Yeah. Facts.
Go ahead.
It
So
says.
lock right on them.
It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord Adawan, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Hey, and that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the Heavenly Father to set forth one that is profitable over the earth. Okay? Ultimately, Yahweh Shai, who you people ignorantly call Jesus, followed by King David, and so forth and so on. A righteous ruler, okay? Which will establish a righteous government on the face of this earth, man. And that's what we're waiting for. But in the meantime, before that takes place, you're gonna witness this place crumble. You got it, Doc.
Going back to Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2:2. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. Maktesh,
Khan.
you know what I want. All the handful of prophecies that are left to play out, they're screaming. We can see why America's allies are going to turn upon her and burn her with fire. We you know, a couple years ago, we knew about that prophecy, but we couldn't exactly pinpoint how that's going to happen. But with this trade war, these tariffs, you can see it.
Khan.
Hey, DJ Trump backpedaled on the tariffs, and you still got people in Canada talking about fuck America. We still boycotting American goods.
Yep.
Because you can't be trusted. You're proving you can't be trusted. Even your European allies. Matter of fact, that started with when you talked shit to Zelensky. You were showing you can't be trusted. And you've been showing that. Talking about certain NATO members are not paying their due just, and you're not going to defend them. You understand? So you looking at each day passes, you looking more and more unstable. You're looking more and more like a madman.
Yeah.
And that's a recipe for disaster. Uncertainty, instability is a recipe to crash this economy.
Of course.
All these investors, they don't know where to put their money. They don't know, you know, you got, matter of fact, right now you got cargo ships that are just circling. They can't deliver their goods.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, how are you gonna know where to put your money, where to invest your money in what stocks, when your president is turning on the stock, the tariffs like a faucet, on and off.
That he's using the stock market like his personal casino.
Exactly. You know, this is
And these boomers are through, man.
Oh, without a doubt.
You through. Your 401k's wiped out. You can kiss that bye-bye.
Yep.
You better take your ass back to work. Your retirement, your Social Security, you can kiss that goodnight.
Uh-huh. Oh, man.
Better get you a job at Publix or something. Come on.
Agreed.
You got to come on.
Zephaniah 1:11. It reads, how ye inhabitants of Maktesh.
These are the prophecies, the handful of prophecies that are left to play out, because majority of the prophecies in the Bible have taken place already. But the handful that are left, they're screaming. I.e. this one right here. Read that again.
How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down.
That's going into your stock market. A major collapse is coming. Matter of fact, for the last, I say this whole year, the stock market already hit its apex. It's been trending down. It's been collapsing. Hence why you had 2-3 days the most sell-offs ever. Ever. Unprecedented. Why? Because it's crashing.
Yep.
But just like in 1929, they pumped money back into the economy to bring your confidence back up, man. It's all bullshit. Not to mention, there's all type of tools that this devil has to keep the economy from fully collapsing as it normally would. He's got all type of fucking circuit breakers.
Yeah, Salakia.
He's got all type of PPT, plunge protection teams. He's got what's that other one I forgot? He's got all type of tools to keep this fucking stock market from truly imploding.
Yep.
As it normally would.
Quantitative easing.
Quantitative easing.
Uh-huh.
But it's inevitable. No fiat system lasted forever. Every fiat system eventually came to its end. No empire lasted forever. Every empire had its rise and its fall. And guess what? You're witnessing the fall of the so-called greatest empire on the face of the earth. And it's falling like lightning. I guarantee you, this week is going to be even more volatile than last week. I guarantee it. And it's going to get worse and worse because it's all by design.
It reads, how ye inhabitants of Maktesh.
You about to howl. They're not going to know what to do. when they fully let this bitch collapse, when them breakers aren't tripping, they not gonna know what to do.
I ain't gonna have a clue. Nowhere to run, nowhere
These
to hide.
banks are gonna start to implode. The same thing that happened during the Great Depression it's happening all over again, right in front of your faces.
Yep.
But you're too dumb to see it.
Yep.
Banks been collapsing.
Hey, and
How much more so when when they call in these margins?
yep.
The bond market. They said something. Tripped in the bond market. Something is afoot.
Yep.
Why? Matter of fact, what's going on is this whole world was built upon fraud. This whole system is a Ponzi scheme, man. It's all bullshit. And the house of cards is collapsing.
Yep. It says, "How Zephaniah 1:11? How ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off."
Oh, that's another thing. Silver, gold, that's volatile.
Yep.
Silver's at what? I mean, gold is at what? 32,000 or some shit like that.
Yep.
Unprecedented. That shit going up like fucking like a taxi cab in New York.
God. And we know the higher,
Unprecedented.
the higher the price of gold, the less.
Silver about to go through the roof because
Yep.
silver is the poor man's gold.
Yep.
And why is silver and gold going up? Because everybody's foreseeing the crash of the dollar. So they're putting their money in something more tangible.
God.
Because the dollar's about to be super inflated, hyperinflated.
Yep.
Matter of fact, hold me that in Revelation. You know what I want. You know what I'm talking about, right? Balances of wheat.
God.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Revelation 6 and 6. This is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 6.
Don't read it. Let me finish Habakkuk.
Salakia.
So it says, going back to Habakkuk 2 and 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. And we're at that time. The prophecies are speaking. They're not even speaking. They're screaming. They're screaming so loud, you got people that ain't even into the Bible saying prophetic things. Oh, Canadian Prepper. He referenced China and Iran beating their beating their swords into pruning hooks.
Yep. Khan.
Referencing Joel, you know? He referenced Gog and Magog, you know?
Yep.
If you don't, I'll get it. If you don't.
No, I got it. I thought I knew it off the top of my head. I thought it was 6 and 6. Yeah, it is 6 and 6. Revelation chapter 6 and 6. It reads, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny."
Where you at? 6 and 6?
6 and 6.
Go ahead.
It says, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see, Salakia.
And see thou not the oil, and see thou hurt not the oil in the wine." Let me read it in the NLT, because the NLT is more explicit.
Khan.
It says, "And I heard a voice from among the 4 living beasts saying, a loaf of wheat bread for 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay." That's called hyperinflation. That's what happened in the Weimar Republic. That's what happened in Venezuela, Argentina. That's what you're about to see happen. It said, because in the KJV it says a penny for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and a penny goes back to a denarius.
Khan.
And a denarius was a day's wage in the Roman Empire.
Khan.
So that's what's gonna happen. Shit is gonna, well, it's already happening. Eggs are through the roof. Everything is through the roof. Why? Because the dollar's being devalued. The same dollar ain't getting you. It's losing its strength.
Yep.
So what's gonna happen is a day's wage is gonna get you basic necessities, rice and beans,
Yep.
some bread. That's gonna be your whole paycheck.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
things are about to skyrocket.
Uh-huh.
Especially if these tariff wars keep going tit for tat.
Yep.
America doesn't produce anything, man. And what does America produce besides fucking soy and alfalfa? You know?
Yeah.
Majority of the things that America, you Americans consume everything. You import everything.
Yeah.
All your fruits, your vegetables, that shit's imported. You know?
Yep.
And majority of the things that you get comes from China.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people, when they think about China, they thinking about cheap products. What they call it, Temu and fucking Shine, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Sheen or whatever it's called.
But you got major earth minerals that come from China. Matter of fact, a lot of the what you call it, the parts that you need for these cars come from China.
That's
A lot
fact.
of transformers, a lot of shit come from China, man. Hence why DJ Trump had a back pedal. He said, we're gonna back off on the electronics. iPhones and chips and laptops. You know, we ain't gonna put tariffs on that. Cause he had to think about it. He caught himself. Caught himself slipping.
God.
Hold on. If China don't bend the knee, if China don't put an embargo on us, we gonna starve.
God. Yep. Yep. Realizing they're not as powerful as they thought they were.
So again, going back, and that go with the stock market. Everything is about to collapse, man.
Yeah.
And everything about to go through the roof.
Yeah. And your gold or silver or riches that you have stored up are not going to save you in the times that we're coming into.
So again, going back to Habakkuk 2 and 3, for the vision, what vision? The vision of the end.
Yeah.
We're witnessing the end. These are all the things Yahweh Shai warned us about to look for in the time of his coming.
Yep.
Earthquake in diverse places. Look what just happened in Myanmar, Burma.
Yep.
Major 7.7 earthquake. That's a sign of the times. The death toll is at 3,000 and up and counting.
Con and counting.
Oh, look what happened in the DR, Dominican Republic. The Lord has brought judgment on them motherfuckers, man. In that nightclub. I think the nightclub was called Jet Set. They were jet setting up. You can't make this shit up.
Oh, man.
We in a time of judgment.
Yeah.
Heavy judgment going out. You had that fucking helicopter just crashed in New York. Hey, you had a plane just crash in Boca Raton. You had a plane crash in Georgia. We in them times, man.
Yep.
The Lord is up in the ante.
This is 1 Thessalonians 5:1.
Oh, now I forgot these tornadoes fucking up the Midwest. Hurricane season about to start again.
Yep. Hey, the Heavenly Father is showing himself. It says, 1 Thessalonians 5:1, but of the times and of the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
Why? Because these people ain't looking for it.
Yep.
They putting that day off. They're saying, hey, that time is going to be afar off. They believe in the great white pope. They really believe Trump is going to save America.
For when they shall say peace and safety,
that's why they up on a Sunday afternoon like everything's all gravy. Meanwhile, you just had the most volatile week in the stock exchange ever, on record.
Yep.
But everybody business as usual. But that's what the Lord said. Matter of fact, I'll get it. Go ahead.
Hey, one of the most volatile weeks. Okay, some of the highest tariffs that have been put on
That's
nations.
unheard of, man.
Unheard of, unprecedented. And these are all signs of the
matter
time.
of fact, when it first started, people were mocking, laughing about it.
Yeah, like it
Because
was a joke.
They couldn't believe it. But seeing is believing. And they're saying China might put 200% reciprocal tariffs back on America. But that ain't gonna hurt. That ain't gonna hurt China, because China don't really import shit from America.
Well, there's a saying in the world that says, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Well, China is a nation that feeds the majority of you Americans. All right? Because America is the largest consumer. Okay? All Americans do is consume, is consumed.
It's the greatest consumer nation on the face of the earth.
Exactly.
Don't nobody buy like you goddamn Babylonians.
Con.
Hold on, I'm gonna show you something, Knock. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can make it larger. This is a picture from 2000 and 2024, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says U.S. The blue is basically U.S. as a large trading partner in China, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in around 2000, America had a bunch of trade deals. That's why it's mainly blue, hardly red.
Right.
Now look in 2024.
Dominated by China. Dominated.
So I'll see if you can see this on the camera. You might not be able to pick it up. I don't think they're gonna pick it up.
Yeah,
But
they should
basically,
be able to.
but Google it.
Dominated by China.
China has a bunch of fucking all type of business alliance and deals with these different nations. All throughout Africa, you had the Silk Road.
Yep, the Silk Road.
All throughout the Caribbean, China doing hella deals. All throughout South America, you know.
Yep. And
Not just importing, exporting. They're building up the infrastructure.
Khan.
Again, a lot of transformers come from China, generators. A lot of important things come from China
Yep.
because they got the manpower.
Mm-hmm.
And they got that sweatshop, that slave economy.
Khan. And I
They got
always
the
say,
people to do it. Oh, this nigga talking about bringing back manufacturing to America. How, Sway? How, nigga? It take time to build up an infrastructure, man.
yeah,
It take years, man. Even if you have people working 24/7, round the clock, it's gonna take at least a year to get up these manufacturing plants.
Khan.
And then on top of that, you Babylonians, you want raises, man. You steady complaining about the unemployment. I mean the minimum wage.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna work in a sweatshop making Nikes and sewing together Jordans and Levi's for $3 an hour, man.
Ain't no way.
You're gonna want $30, $40, $50 an hour to work in them sweatshops, man.
Yep.
So it's unfeasible.
It's a lose.
It don't make no goddamn sense.
Yeah.
And not to mention, the wave is AI, automation, robots. All these companies are getting into AI, robotics.
Of course. Depending less and less on human manpower.
But you believe his lies, man. You believe everything he tells you. Hence, you believe we going to Mars. You got it, brother.
They believe it.
Yeah, they believe they can fly.
Khan.
So did R. Kelly.
It
R.
says-
Smelly, look where he's at.
It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
That's why he's trying to control the collapse. He's trying to boost the confidence in the people.
Yeah.
Because people are antsy, bro. People are nervous.
Yep.
People don't know if they're going to get laid off next week, man.
Yep. Antsy. It says,
Oh, they call it consumer confidence. It's at an all-time low.
yeah. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right, you're not going to escape, man. You got to put all your eggs in one basket, in the basket of DJ Trump, until he completely collapses the economy, man. That's exactly what's going to happen.
He's the fall guy. I always
Exactly.
mention Fun with Dick and Jane with Jim Carrey. That's him.
Exactly.
He's a scapegoat. He's a fall guy. But that's what he specializes in. Bankruptcy.
Everybody filming today. Damn demons. Salaki.
Jeremiah 51 and 6. I start at 5. Again, all these financial advisors, these economic so-called experts, they got pieces of the puzzle, but they can't put the whole picture together. Why? Because they're missing a key ingredient, the Bible, these prophecies. They don't. Nobody can tell you why these things are happening to America. Nobody can explain it. Why is America in such a bad state? It's because America was founded upon wickedness. The sins of this place is coming back to bite them in their ass.
Exactly.
Primarily what you did to the Lord's chosen people. Jeremiah 51 and 5. For Israel hath not been forsaken. Now we're not talking about them small hat, big nose people. Those are imposters. Counterfeit. Them ain't the real people of the Lord. You looking at the true men, the true people of the God, the so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Latinos, Hispanics, North American Seminole Indians. We are the Lord's chosen people. Not those big-nosed rat bastards, man. That like to hide in tunnels.
Yep. Yep.
Those PDF files.
Boy.
That where they got Stink City over there, Tel Aviv. Every year they have the biggest sodomite parade ever over there. But they God's people. How? That's the Holy Land, right? But God allowed you to do that, right?
Yep. God.
Over there committing a genocide. You know?
Yep.
We are the Lord chosen people. We are the downtrodden, the forgotten, the lowly, the meek, the humble. We are the ones that need saving. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. I said it not too long ago, the Lord is plaguing Babylon's economy.
Yep.
What you see happening to the economy, that's a plague. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. With what? Their philosophies, their ideologies. They went around and spread their democracy, their feminism, their alternative nasty lifestyle. That's what Babylon promotes, wickedness. And now the nations are angry. Oh, they spread their capitalism, their Federal Reserve fiat system.
Yep.
They spread fraud, deceit, lies. And now the nations see the effects. They're sobering up from the wine.
God.
They're waking up to reality. And they're seeing their nations in shambles. They're seeing their economy in shambles. They're seeing their currency in shambles.
If I can say this, they're also seeing the weaponization of the dollar. Okay?
Nah, it's beyond that. Because that's what Tucker Carlson said. That was America's greatest mistake, weaponizing the dollar.
Yep.
Now they're weaponizing the economy. That was a grave mistake. Because you don't control. You're a consumer. You're a consumer nation.
Yeah.
So that was a grave mistake. That was a foolish mistake. But going back to, there's no wisdom. Well, I didn't read it. I was holding it. There's no wisdom in teaming.
God. Yeah. That's, hey, going back to that perverse spirit that the Heavenly Father has mingled in this place, man.
Hold that, Jeremiah, Isaiah 19.
God.
So it says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? You were talking about the Maktesh, the silver trader, silver traders.
Yep.
People are howling now, man,
God.
because they're in dire straits.
Yeah. And everyone is howling. Okay?
These people are in a quagmire. They're in a pickle. Nothing's moving in Babylon.
Yeah.
Your greatest asset is your house. The housing market is at a standstill.
God.
First and foremost, it's overinflated. The car market overinflated. At a stand, everything is coming to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
So you're seeing your stocks being wiped out, your 401k being wiped out, everything going through the roof, utilities, food.
Yep.
Your greatest asset, you can't even flip it
God.
to get yourself out of that hole. You stuck.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the housing market is so overinflated. These people, even if they could sell their house, where are you gonna move to? You're in a quagmire.
God.
You're gonna sell your car that's paid off to get in the car payments that's like $700 a month now.
Yep.
You're gonna sell your car that's paid off for a car that's $50,000, $60,000 now. Acquire a whole bunch of new debt.
Yep.
It's not feasible. You have no equity in your homes. Matter of fact, a lot of these people are upside down.
Completely.
Completely drowning in negative equity.
Completely. I was just reading an article. It was entitled, U.S. homeowners must earn $50,000 more than renters to cover shelter payments. All right? So your dollar is so devalued that it's putting a strain on you. And there's nothing you can do.
Yo, they said they got a lot of these people that are stuck in their homes, man. Can't even afford to do simple maintenance on their homes. Replace the AC, the furnace.
Yep.
You know, a lot of these homes that are going on the market need $50,000, $100,000 worth of repairs, man. But yet they still trying to sell them for $40,000, $30,000, $400,000, $300,000.
Yep.
It don't make no goddamn sense. But they got to do that because they got all that negative equity.
God.
They bought the house, it was really worth $100,000 and they paid $200,000, $300,000 for it. Now they trying to pass that burden on to you.
Yep. Yep.
But that's the play in America. That's the capitalistic mind frame.
God.
That's the mindset of a capitalist. It's all about getting over on the next man.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what it's about.
And that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Well, we brought it out. The people are as the leaders. We brought it out earlier. And what is your president known for? All right, filing for bankruptcy, overcharging tenants.
He's a slumlord.
A slumlord.
A racist slumlord. That's DJ Trump's claim to fame.
Yep.
A degenerate.
Con.
A goddamn sexual deviant. Oh, how quickly we forget. He said, grab him by the pussy. But that's who you voted for. A degenerate.
God. That's exactly what they did.
It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. Oh, DJ Chump, he was talking about, oh, just take the medicine. Take the medicine. Ain't no medicine.
Yeah.
The Lord said ain't nothing you can do for this place, man.
For real. Nothing you can do for this place.
We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Hence, everybody in a peace and safety because the stock market so-called rebounded a little bit.
Right.
But it's gonna plummet again.
Right. Damn
They're
right.
going right back on that. They're going right back on that emotional roller coaster.
Con.
So it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even unto the skies. And that's the times that we're living in.
Yeah, we're living in the times where people are getting ready to forsake this place, man. All right, because when you forsake something, that means you've lost all trust and faith in the system. And that's exactly what's taking place. Americans are losing faith in the system. All right? It's elected government officials, okay? Doge, Elon, Trump, you know, all these MAGA hat wearers are making videos now saying they regret voting for the Great White Hope. And that's exactly what you're seeing. They're forsaking this place.
Real quick, Revelation 18:2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. These nations, these kingdoms were in bed with her.
Yep.
Saudi Arabia, the United Emirates.
Yep.
You know?
Khan, Qatar, if that's how you pronounce it.
Qatar, not so much. Qatar is more in bed with Iran and Russia. That's what, anyway. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Hence why majority of these nations around the world, they have some type of Federal Reserve system. They have some type of central banking system.
Yep.
They're all following the same play of Babylon.
Yep. Khan. And the nations that don't have a central bank, Babylon is going to war with them. You got it.
You get Gaddafi.
Exactly.
You don't want to get a central banking system, you'll get Gaddafi.
Exactly.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth had committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Ooh.
Hence China.
Yep.
China at one point was a weak nation, man. People would laugh and scoff at China, man.
God.
Now China's strong, stronger than ever. Stronger. China's a superpower. What made China a superpower? You goddamn dummies that can't stop consuming. You gotta have the latest and greatest. Your phone is perfectly fine, but you gotta get the latest iPhone. You gotta get the new PS5. You can't stop getting Amazon packages delivered to your goddamn house. That's what made these other nations strong. Vietnam, you know?
God.
Thailand.
That's ultimately facts, man.
So it says, Slovakia. That's why Xi Jinping was laughing. He laughing at him, man.
Yeah.
He said, we ain't afraid. You know?
Yeah.
You ain't hurting nobody but yourself. We can ultimately turn into a consumer nation our goddamn self. You know, we could devalue our money and we can start consuming everything we produce. You know, we can start eating these GMO foods.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
China has the upper hand, man.
Or I can start exporting them to other nations.
Other nations, exactly.
I could export them to the BRICS nations.
China has played the long game, and I always say that. China played the long game and waited for the right moment to strike, man.
Well, China didn't strike. America struck first.
God.
America stepped in it. It was a global hiccup. Hence why he's backpedaling.
Yeah.
Backpedal. Everything he's doing, he's backpedaling. He backpedaled on Iran, talked shit about Iran. He was gonna bomb them to smithereens.
Yeah.
You don't hear nothing about that no more, do you?
I just read
What
that.
happened to them B-2 bombers that he had on Diego Island?
Yep.
Whatever happened to that? What happened to that?
Facts.
Again, Trump looking like a madman, unstable. You don't know what he's gonna say tomorrow, man. He back in the spirit of doing late night tweets and shit. Elon gonna have to pull his account again.
Gonna have to reel him in.
You know?
God.
Nigga be watching the news, be watching these economic preppers, you know? Oh shit, I did fuck up, you know?
Yeah, God.
They like, just stick to the script, man, follow the play.
Yep.
Follow the plan. So it says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, because that's what America is, Babylon. It's an oppressive nation, man. America's all about oppressing. Putting heavy debts on you, if I would have continued in Habakkuk. That's the play of Babylon, these elites. They want everybody to be debt slaves. That's what America's about. Acquiring exuberant amount of debt.
God.
Student loan debt. Your mortgage, debt. Your car payment, debt. And that's what Carl Schwab said. You will own nothing and be happy.
Yep.
Oh, allegedly, Carl Schwab just made like $2.5 billion when the stock market rebounded.
Yep.
That sounds like some insider trading to me. That sounds like some market manipulation to me.
All courtesy of DJ Trump.
Looked like he gave his friends a heads up, didn't it? He said, be cool.
Yeah.
He said, be cool.
Send him out a tweet.
Wink, wink. Be cool.
With the thumbs up. Hey, but all you rich men are gonna howl also. All right? There's no escaping what the Heavenly Father's about to bring upon this earth.
So it says, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. They all gave consent to the beast for a moment, for a time.
Yep.
And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Again, America is the #1 consumer nation. They can't stop consuming. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. They about to go through famine. They about to go through race wars, class wars, domestic violence. Hey, you got the young against the old.
God.
All throughout social media, the boomers were crying out about Their stocks plummeting, their 401ks plummeting. You know what the young people saying? Fuck you. The young people can't get jobs.
Yep.
They coming out of college with degrees and can't get a job. And they blaming you older people for it. So this nation is even more divided.
Completely
They're saying
divided.
it serves you right. It's good for you. So this bitch is about to implode. So it says, reward her even as she rewarded you. How did America reward the tribes, man?
Oh yeah, we know.
How did she reward us? With violence.
Bug breaking, gator bait,
Redlining.
violence, con.
Bombing us.
Yep. Completely destroying cities. What they call them, flood towns. Completely putting towns underwater.
Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. All the wickedness America's been sowing, all the violence, all the treachery, all the deceit, is gonna come back on her head sevenfold.
Con.
Because what you sow, that shall you reap. All of a sudden now, DJ Trump wanna back down.
Yeah.
Now,
con.
keep that same energy you had when you dropped them bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Keep that tough talk. You so big and bad. Now you want to backpedal. Now, keep that same energy. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. And the cup of these curses. Primarily slavery. All these plagues that came upon Jake, man. How much she glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's what they say. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
Yeah.
They don't ever think America's gonna fall upon hard times. But guess what? It's too late. Hard times already here, and they're here to stay. They ain't going away. More layoffs all throughout Babylon. More federal jobs are gonna be cut. More teaching jobs.
Yep.
More businesses are gonna close down. More banks are gonna go bankrupt. More malls are gonna become even more dead. J.C. Penney going away, Sears, Macy's, big box stores disappearing.
Con.
Walgreens, CVS's, dollar stores. That's the times that we're living in. Suddenly shall the sown places appear empty. This city of confusion is about to be boarded up. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall utterly be burned with fire, for strong is the Lord out of one Yahweh who judgeth her. You got something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is I got two. This is Isaiah 47
I had that on deck too. Go ahead.
and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
And it says virgin daughter of Babylon because it's not talking about ancient Babylon. Ancient Babylon, you got people that still live in ancient Babylon. Ancient Babylon is modern day Iraq. This is talking about the new and improved Babylon, America. The Hebrew word for Babylon is Babal. That's what this place is, confusion.
Yep.
A big land of confusion. Go ahead.
Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
That means coming in a low state.
Con.
Get ready for this humble pie.
Yep. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Hey, and that's what's taking place, man.
These people can't consume no more. They
Wow.
tapped out. They got no more discretionary funds.
Yep.
These people ain't even got $300 in their savings account, man. A lot of these people can't even get oil changes, man. Motherfuckers working 2-3 jobs. Got a full-time job and doing gig jobs on the weekend. Or when they get off work. DoorDash and Uber eating. on their, you know, on their lunch break,
Yep.
doing some Instacart deliveries on their lunch break. These people through.
Oh man.
And not to mention the gig economy is oversaturated because everybody's broke. Everybody's tapped out.
Yep.
You got single family homes. You got 3, 4, 5 families piled up in a single family home.
6 cars in the
Your
driveway.
fucking aunt living in a goddamn garage and shit with her family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Uncomfortable
See,
truth.
that was the reality for Jake, for these tribes, for you Mexicans, you
Yeah.
Haitians. That was normal life for us, man.
Normal life.
Growing up at your grandma's house, all the cousins and shit.
Yep.
You know, everybody's piled up. But now it's a reality for the average Edomite.
Yes. Everybody, man. It's so crazy, man. Every subdivision, 5 or 6 cars in the driveway. So it says,
All need an oil change.
Yeah.
All need tires.
it says,
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
God.
America's a former shell of itself. I always say it. It looks like a third world nation.
Yep.
I guess Doge must have cut their the 501c3 charter. I told you that was gonna happen. The only reason they was coming out here to feed you was because it was a tax exemption. But Doge tightened the noose.
Tightening the noose. All those subsidized
They
subsidy
probably
programs.
tapped out their damn self.
Yeah.
Taking the groceries and feeding them their damn self. You know what I'm saying?
I think the elders in Connecticut was talking about one of these countries ending Section 8 under the age of 40, if I'm not mistaken, man.
One of these cities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he said something pertaining to that. So you know,
Yeah,
Salakia,
Doge cutting all the benefits, man.
Oh man. It says
And contrary to popular belief, the #1 recipient of Section 8 and public assistance are Edomites, man.
Of course.
They like to make it seem like it's black people and Hispanics that are getting food stamps in Section 8. No, it's a lot of white people, man. Especially in these Midwest states, man.
facts.
Yeah, I said it. What you looking at?
It says, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
You better enjoy the last moments in Babylon. This bitch is collapsing.
For
You
thou
better get your money if you got it in the stock exchange. You better get it out. You better get it out quickly.
for thou shalt no more be
You better
called.
get you a goddamn side job, because you're gonna need it.
For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Right.
That's
And
how you know he's an Edomite. They got that perpetual hatred. Never ended. They can't hide it. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at your leaders, man.
Fact.
I'm not the one that shorted the market. I'm not the one doing insider trading. I'm not doing market manipulation.
You're right.
See?
I agree.
Somebody with sense.
Yeah.
I heard you.
It says, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And he's not being called tender and delicate from these nations. All these other nations used to admire.
He's looking like a bully. Which
Exactly.
he's been a bully.
Exactly.
He's looking like a threat. He can't be trusted.
These other nations used to admire what America was. And like you said, now they're looking at it not in admiration, but in disgust.
And they're starting to abhor her.
Of course, your pop. And it says, take the millstone and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh,
Hey, that's
pass
what Trump,
over the
That's
river.
what Trump want to do. He said he want to bring back manufacturing. So get prepared to work in a goddamn sweatshop. Get prepared to be sewing Nikes together.
Oh man,
You know?
exactly.
Forget them good white collar jobs. You know?
Yep,
Take that engineering degree, put it to the side, and go make you some Jordans, man.
yeah. Now you know
Make
exactly
you
why.
some Lulumans.
It's a like it.
Get your sew game together. You know what I'm saying?
Get that wrist nice and strong.
Learn how to solder.
Yep.
Solder some chips on the phone.
He's mean with a thread and a needle and some thread. It says, thy
Mean with the solder iron.
God. It
They
says,
be doing that a lot too. Putting these iPhones together, you know?
yep. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen.
Everybody's onto them.
Everybody. So much so the Heavenly Father allowed their own tongues to fall upon themselves, man. Okay? The truth is coming out from every avenue what's taking place.
That's it. You got some more.
That's it.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17. Charge them that are rich in this world that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches. Woo. And what's more uncertain than your money?
Yeah.
You're seeing how uncertain your riches are now. Hence the volatility in your stock market.
Yep.
You trusted in your 401k, you trusted in your pension, you trusted in your job. You just knew you had a good federal job.
Mm-hmm.
You knew you was gonna retire.
Yep.
Well, I work at the CDC. I'm gonna retire, you know?
Yep.
Well, I got an engineering degree. I work for Apple, I work for Google.
Yep.
Now look at you.
Oh man.
And they were proud too. Proud. Because they weren't wise to consider their latter end.
Con.
Just like the money came in, they blew it. As soon as it came out, they blew it.
Yeah.
A lot of them are gambling. A lot of them got their money in the stock market and they're gambling, bro.
Yep.
That's a major casino. A lot of addicts in the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
Risking their whole life, their whole family.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine.
Getting new what they call it, a reverse mortgage on their house to
Yeah.
go gamble in the stock exchange. You know?
Oh man. I'm gonna refinance so I can just blow it all in the stock market.
The report came out that most of these people, what they keep doing is they keep refinancing. Got
Yeah.
like 5-6 mortgages the last 5-6 years, man.
Yep.
Every year they take out a new mortgage on the house.
Yep.
They behind in their mortgage payments. They catch back up and they refi all over again.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the play. In order to make it here, you got to be in debt. In order to get richer, you got to acquire an enormous amount of debt.
Fact.
That's the hustle, I guess.
Yeah.
You got to be a debt slave.
Hey, ultimately, the house of cards is crumbling, man. The house of cards is crumbling. What they say? What is it? The mirage. All right. People are sobering up.
So again, it says, charge them that are rich in this world that they not be high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches,
Mm-hmm.
but in the living power, Yahweh, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy. That's what we trust in, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai,
Yep.
who loads us daily with benefits.
Yep.
The Wadi Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We don't have too much or too little. We're right in the middle.
Con.
Least I be rich and curse him, or what they say? No, least I be rich and forget him, or poor and curse him.
Exactly.
Be
So-
right in the middle.
Balance.
Having food and raiment, therefore be content. See, you people are never content. You're never satisfied.
Never.
Hence why you always consuming. Hey, I seen a meme, right? Some dude said, these people, they got 20, 30 pairs of shoes in the closet, like they're fucking centipedes. Why you got 20, 30 pairs of shoes? You gonna wear them all?
Exactly.
Clowns.
Hey.
But keep it up. That's what made China rich. You
Yep.
couldn't stop consuming.
Yep. Real quick. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt.
That's what they would
Where-
do. That's a prime example of the stock exchange.
Yep. And where thieves
I never
break.
even realized that car's ashy as fuck, man. Look like my car.
I didn't realize it should look like that either, bro. It says, hey, and a ton of y'all had your wealth laid up for you in the stock market. So you thought. So it says, Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth.
The Lord had a parable about that.
Mhm.
That rich man,
Yep,
he tore the barns down and made, to make even more.
exactly.
The Lord said, "Thy fool, in the morning thy soul will be mine."
I require thy soul. It says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust does corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal.
Because these people don't understand this whole system is predicated upon fraud.
Fact.
The whole system is not designed for you to make it, man.
Yep.
The system is designed to keep you in debt. It's
Yep.
all a trap.
Your
You
own.
think you freeing yourself, starting your own business. Nope, that's a trap. You fell for it.
Yep.
It's all traps, man.
Your own president is stealing from you, man. You know, playing Russian roulette with the stock market, turning tariffs on and off. You know, he even came out with the Trump coin. And how did that last? All right, his Trump coin. All the MAGA fans went out and bought the Trump coin, and now it's worth zero. But he made multi-millions on it. Do your research. It says, but lay up for yourselves treasure in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
Because guess what? Your rulers, they're a bunch of thieves.
Con.
The founding fathers, bunch of thieves, crooks.
Yep.
The
All
Federal
crooks.
Reserve. That was established to steal from you, man. You know?
Yeah. That's facts, man.
The banking system, thieves. What they call it, fractional reserve banking. That's thievery, man.
Con.
You gotta pay your debts. You gotta have money in the bank account, a certain limit, right? But
Yeah.
yet they can take a portion of your money, have it on the books, and invest the rest of it, man.
Yeah.
How that work out, man?
Yep.
That's bullshit.
These companies, man, they take no risk. You know? You know, these banks, they don't lend
the
their own money.
and
They
like-
lend you other people's
Oh,
money.
that was the word I forgot. The repo, what was it? The repo. What they call the repo reserve?
Repo market? That's
No.
what-
Fuck, man. I did a lesson on it, man.
Con. But ultimately, all these systems.
Reverse repo. That's what it's called.
Con.
That's one of the tools they use also. The PPT, the Plunge Protection Team. Look up PPT, Plunge Protection Team, Baba Kashab.
Con.
And they also use the reverse repo.
Protection team.
Basically, that's what the banks do. The banks, all the money just keep going around in a fucking circle. Just keep changing hands from bank to bank. And each time the money changes hands, somebody get a fucking check. It's all a fucking Ponzi scheme. It's all fraud. PPT, Plunge Protection Team.
It says financial markets. Plunge Protection Team, PPT definition.
Lift up your voice, Doc.
It says the Plunge Protection Team is a how do you pronounce that? I can't even pronounce that. How do you pronounce that?
I get it.
Is a
I get it. I'll read it.
I'm trying to find
The
it.
Plunge Protection Team, PPT. The Plunge Protection Team is a nickname for the working group of financial markets which makes recommendations to the U.S. President. The President's Working Group on Financial Markets, known colloquially as the Plunge Protection Team, was created by Executive Order 1206-31, signed on March 18, 1988 by United States President Ronald Reagan. Basically, they're a team that's designed to monitor the markets from falling too much. They have all type of systems in place to control the collapse, just like the breakers. If the stocks are plunging too much, the breaker trips. What does that mean? It means you can't get your money in or out. They give you time to so-called cool down. It's all bullshit. They're trying to control the collapse.
Sort of like fail safes almost.
They're fail-safes.
Con.
But your fail-safes are gonna fail you. And another tool that they have is the reverse repo. Kind of like quantitative easing. It says a reverse repo or reverse repurchase agreement is a transaction where an investor sells securities to a bank or a dealer with an agreement to repurchase them later at a higher price. You hear that?
That's crazy.
I'll read that again
Repurchase
slowly.
later.
A reverse repo, that's what the banks do. Say you upside down in your mortgage, right? They're gonna sell that debt to another bank. And that debt, it keeps going from bank to bank. It's just paper. It's just paper. Your mortgages, your leases, they just keep going from bank to bank. Like they do predatory loans
Con.
They know you ain't gonna fucking pay the loan off. You
Never
can't.
pay it off.
But they gonna keep letting you pay it off until they repo the shit. But now that debt gotta go somewhere. It's gonna go to another bank, a bigger bank.
Right.
So I'll read it again. A reverse repo or reverse repurchase agreement is a transaction where an investor sells securities to a bank or dealer with an agreement to repurchase them later at a higher price. The same shit they were doing in 1929. They were letting people get into the stock market on credit. They were calling it margins.
Yep.
What made the stock market crash? They were calling in the margins. People were saying, I don't think you're good for that. I need $600. I need $1,000. People didn't have it. So it's all a Ponzi scheme, man. It's all fraud.
All a Ponzi scheme.
And so I'm not the best. I'm not an economic advisor, bro. But I know enough to know it's fucking fraud. It's bullshit.
Con.
It's all bullshit.
You breaking it down, simplifying it.
This is Psalm 62:10. Trust not in oppression, and that's what this country does. It oppresses you.
Yeah.
It puts heavy pledges on you, heavy weights on you. It forces you into debt.
Yep.
They teach you from when you're young to go to college. What they're not telling you is, how am I gonna get through that college? I'm gonna have to get fucking debt. I'm gonna have to take out a student loan that's never gonna go away. And that student loan has what on it? Exorbitant amount of interest. Usury.
Interest. And then in the fine print.
And they give you little deals. They tell you, you know what, don't worry about it. We'll just garnish your wages. We'll just garnish your taxes.
Yeah.
But what they're not telling you is the usury on it, the interest on it is so exorbitant. If they do that, you're gonna stay in debt.
Exactly.
The debt gonna balloon.
Yeah, and then in the fine print,
It's called predatory loans.
you can't file bankruptcy. A student loan, you can't file bankruptcy on.
It never goes away.
Never.
You did a lesson on predatory loan. What's a predatory loan?
Shit, I don't know how to break it down.
Google it then.
It
So again, trust not in oppression and become not vain in robbery. That's this devil.
Con.
Oppression and robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. You see that?
Yep.
So they sit there, they watch their little 401k balloon, and they relax. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They get in a spirit of peace and safety.
Yep.
They don't realize the rug is going to be pulled from under them. They don't realize these greedy elites looking at your goddamn 401k and salivating.
Yep.
No, I needs that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Hey, the brother's talking about predatory lending. No, Salaki, go ahead.
Proverbs 23:5. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. And ain't that the truth in this world?
Yeah. Con.
Any little money, as soon as you get a little bit of money, it go right out your goddamn paycheck. But that's Haggai. I gotta get
Bag with a hole.
Haggai. Yep.
Nah, the brother mentioned predatory lending, and I'm gonna pull it up.
Who's the
But
predator?
The predatory lending.
Hold on. Who's the predator and who's the prey?
Hey,
The
whoever
elite.
gets the loan is the prey.
The elite.
elites are the predator.
The elites are the predator. We are the
Con.
prey.
Exactly.
The average Babylonian, they don't understand the monetary system.
Con.
Again, a system is a trap. They don't understand loans and shit.
Yeah.
They don't understand amateurization. Majority don't even know what the fuck amateurization is.
Facts. That's
You know?
facts. That's
They don't
facts.
understand the principle, especially Jake.
Yeah.
Jake behind the wheel.
Hey, but I was just thinking, in this system, how predatory loaning starts soon as you're old enough to receive a credit card. As soon as you become,
It starts soon as your daddy signed his name on that goddamn birth certificate. Because now your mama can take him to court and force him to be up under the system.
Dang. Hey,
And that's a predatory. According to Elder Malcolm, that's unlawful.
Hey.
Under the child, I forget what he be saying,
Title 4D.
Title 4D.
Yeah.
It's unconstitutional.
And you're right, even sooner than that, because you know it's Evites out here that
Yeah,
be
you
using
a
their
dad,
children's
you a baby daddy.
Yeah, you're a baby.
Where they get it from Amalek? Amalek can't collect it at Social Security. 300 years old on their great-great-grandmother.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Jake just figuring out how to finagle the system.
Exactly. So this whole system is based on debt and fraud, man. So it says predatory lending is any lending practice where the lender takes advantage of the borrower by imposing unfair or abusive terms.
Usury, unjust weights.
Yep. Yep.
It is all the goddamn elites.
Mhm.
These bankers. They're a bunch of crooks, man.
Yep. Often targeting
You're not even
vulnerable
getting- we always
individuals
say-
or groups.
We always say you're not even getting paid with real money.
Yep.
Real money is tangible things. Silver, gold, livestock, land.
Yep.
You getting paid with debt-bearing notes.
Yep. Yep.
And they wonder why everything going through the roof.
It
Because
says-
the money's being devalued. Ain't you paying attention? Ain't you paying attention to the gold market?
Uh-huh.
Ain't you paying attention to the cryptocurrencies?
Mm-hmm. But hey, these are all the ways that the elites, okay, all the schemes that the elites use to rob the people of any form of wealth, man. Okay, one of their main tools is usury.
Again, the Federal Reserve. That's a major tool of fraud.
Yep.
Of
Major
thievery. Again, who the fuck elected Jerome Powell? Who elected Jerome Powell? How did he get in that position? Who does he answer to? He damn sure don't answer to the government because
Yep.
DJ Trump was just reeling on him for not lowering the interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously he don't answer to the government. Who does
Exactly.
he answer to?
Exactly. The elites, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Rothschilds.
Real quick, Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender.
Con.
And if you want to get anything in Babylon, you gotta inquire debt.
Yep.
You gotta get you a goddamn loan.
Yep.
And guess what? Now you're subject to their terms.
Facts.
And you gotta read the fine print.
Yep.
A lot of times when you read the fine print, it's unjust usury, unjust interest.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Again, but it served these people right because they love it this way, man.
This is the way they want it. They want to work 60, 70-hour work weeks, man. All right? To receive the scraps.
This is Haggai chapter 1, verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes.
Con.
And that's what happens. As soon as you get your paycheck, it's already done.
Yeah.
Before you get your paycheck, because you ain't getting paid daily.
Yeah,
So you done
before you
calculated,
get it.
okay, I got to pay my phone, my light bill. That
Yep.
shit is already spent before you get it.
Gone. Gone.
Hence why everybody getting payday loans now.
Yeah. And then the interest on them payday loans is through the roof. Jeez, what?
This is James chapter 5, verse 1.
Oh, I was already holding it.
Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Matter of fact, I'll read it in the KJV, then I'll read it in the NLT. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you.
Hey, if I can say this is going into the elites, man. How they are receiving their wealth. How they're using and abusing the citizens, all right? Even though they have all that their hearts can desire, they still continue to steal wealth from the citizens, man. This is going into these ultra elites.
The Carl Schwabs,
Yep.
that just made 2.5 billion,
2.5 billion.
million, however the fuck he just made.
Yeah, a ridiculous amount.
And he been taking his money out of the damn stock exchange. Remember? Him and JP Morgan.
Yep.
I guess they knew something we didn't know, huh?
Exactly.
I guess they knew something we didn't know.
And that's why the scripture says your riches are corrupt.
I wonder how Martha Stewart fared in this one.
Hey, I'm pretty sure Martha Stewart fared very well.
Meanwhile, simple ass Floyd Mayweather just about to go bankrupt.
Lost it all.
Hey, that's what you get for trying to rub elbows with the goddamn Amalekites. You know, he don't believe these Amalekites gonna do him grimy.
Yeah.
Whole Ecclesiasticus, never trust thine enemy. You don't realize this man is your enemy. And when he sees your stupid black ass, all he sees is food.
That's it. That's it.
Easy food. He don't know the monetary system. He don't know the financial system. He trusts me just because I'm white and I got a suit on.
Facts.
All I gotta do is take this nigga out on my yacht, give him some Dom Perignon, and he gonna sign his life away. Yeah, now your ass gonna have to stay fighting. You know?
Oh,
Get you
man.
some more fights over there in Thailand.
In China.
You know?
Oh man.
Talking about he the money team. That's what you get. Serves him right. Matter of fact, they said wasn't not too long ago he was trending on social media. The boxing gyms, they said he wasn't paying his workers.
Yeah.
Now we know why he wasn't paying his workers. Because he was bankrupt. He got hustled. He got bamboozled.
Listen, if you still boxing at his age, you know you need money. If he was set, if Floyd was set for life, it wouldn't be no need for him to box, no matter how much they're paying. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 10. It reads, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness."
See, that's Jake's problem. Jake believe everybody's their friend. They forgot why they were brought over here. They're out of touch with their history.
Time.
What do they say? If you don't know where you came from, how do you know where you're going?
Yep.
What they say, history is destined to repeat itself. You know?
Yeah. Brothers.
And we know why that is, because what? There is such a thing as reincarnation.
Right.
Reincarnation is biblical. You keep coming back in your lot. And guess what? You keep coming back doing the same things. Over and over and over again.
It
Just
says,
in a new abode, a new body.
he says, Jake forgot why they were brought over here, and Jake forgot how and the conditions they were brought over here. Okay?
Jake don't think critically. Jake, critical thinking is out the window. Who, what, where, when, how.
Jake say, I don't want to see them type of movies on screen no more.
Jake don't
It's
want to use their
depressing.
brain.
It says, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
You could tell, Slocky, you could tell who's the head of the congregation and who's not. Can't you? Night and day, and it's obvious.
Night and day. Hey, the head of the congregation rides a little different.
Clean.
A little bit cleaner. You know what I'm saying? We know who got the money. You already know. So it says,
You can't make this shit up, man.
hey, you, man, rich men.
She probably just somebody in the congregation, you know?
Yeah,
That's a believer.
but believer thinking she's doing a good deed.
Yep.
Man, it says, James 5 and 2. It says, you were reading James, but then you went looking for something.
This is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 7. Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. And who's more proud than these Babylonians?
Yeah.
Your president. This man said these nations are kissing his ass. That's a proud ass statement. But see what your big mouth do? Now you gotta backpedal.
Oh man.
As soon as I said that, he looked up. I talked about the great white pope. His like a dog, like a good dog, like a faithful dog. His ears perked up. He was talking all that shit, right? Oh, J.D. Vance. He called them Chinese peasants.
That's what I was gonna bring up.
Now who's
Your
the
father.
fucking peasant? Now who's backpedaling? But your pride, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
God.
Thy terribleness have deceived thee.
Yep.
Thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock. Because of unrighteous dealings, and that's how this man deals with everybody, unrighteously. Even your allies are realizing you can't be trusted. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And that's what's about to happen. A changing of the guard.
God. Definitely a changing of the guard.
Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such an one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. Oh, that made me think about the Babylonian buns being ballparks. Hey, I love that saying, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Terrence Howard, the dude, said he got his Babylonian bar parts.
I can't laugh, bro.
So going back to James chapter 5 and 1. Your riches, James 5 and 2. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. How you acquired that wealth.
Yep.
It was acquired based upon fraud and deceit and violence.
Yep.
What do I always say? How did they acquire America? How did they acquire any of the lands that they live?
They didn't purchase it.
Did they
didn't
trade
barter
for it? Did they barter for it? How did they get these lands? They stole it.
Yeah.
They took it by the force of the sword.
Yeah.
And then they set up a bunch of different traps, a bunch of different systems
Yep.
to keep the people on that hamster wheel, perpetual slaves. As Carl Schwab said, you will own nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
You will eat the bugs. You will eat the bugs.
Hey, and all 350 million of you Babylonians are on your way to just doing that, man. Okay?
All this man got to his name is his goddamn tools.
Yeah.
God damn. How the mighty have fallen.
Oh,
God damn. He about to pawn them shits.
Yeah, you already know.
Damn, bro, it's beautiful times. It says, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. It says, and ye shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth. Again, you're not even getting paid. You're doing all this work, as it said in Haggai.
Yeah.
You're doing all the hard work, and you ain't even getting paid a fair day's wage.
A fair day's
You're not
wage.
even getting paid with real money.
Yeah.
You getting taxed every which way. You getting taxed coming and going, left and right.
Hey, the comedian, I think his name was George Carl, told you, man, anything worth any real value, the elites have already snatched up. Okay? Any land, gold, minerals, you name it, they have it. Anything worth real wealth, you got it.
And they fighting over it, hence Greenland.
Con.
Because everything already been colonized,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah.
The borders, the boundaries have already been set.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth.
Hey, and that was primarily Jake. But hey, Deuteronomy 30 and 7, all these curses are befalling our enemies. So all the other nations are being brought down to a lower state.
Hence, your 401k vanishing.
Yep. Pensions
You done
going.
worked your whole goddamn life, and your 401k just disappearing before your eyes.
Yep.
Now
Overnight.
you gotta go work at Publix. Now you gotta go be a door greeter at Walmart. Ain't that a goddamn shame?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. But that's the reality for the majority of you people, man.
You know her 4K was rock. You can tell by that dirty look she gave me.
Mm-hmm. Probably lost a couple 100,000 in it.
Cause that's really who's hurting these affluent Americans.
Yeah.
The poor people used to having nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You affluent Americans, that's who's hurting.
Yep.
And you well-to-do Americans, you feeling it now. You the one that's playing in the stock market.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it started.
You the ones that's playing with the bond market,
Yeah.
with these treasuries. Jake don't know nothing about no goddamn treasury.
Nope. Hey.
Jake get a little bag, you gonna flip it in the drug game.
Exactly.
You know?
That's exactly what Jake gonna do.
He finna go give it to the D-boy. He gonna start him an old record company. That's what Jake gonna try to do.
Exactly.
Get a little landscaping company. He gonna try to do a little hustle, you know?
Yeah, find a way. Hey, but it started in 2020, man. During that C19er, you know? And what did they do? They brought it, and it came back around to finish the middle class off, man. And that's exactly what's taking place. You got it.
Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth. And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Let me read it in the NLT.
Bring it out. We see you, boss. We see you.
James 5:1 in the NLT. It reads a little better, a little plainer. I like how it's plain, it's simple, straight to the point. It breaks itself down. Look here, you rich people.
Yep.
Weep and groan with anguish because of all the terrible troubles ahead of you.
Yep.
A lot of you gonna swan dive off a goddamn skyscraper.
Yep.
That's coming back in a big way. Because you know they can't take hard times. They're not built for it. They
Nah.
can't take adversity. What did Biggie say? More money, more problems.
Yep.
You lose your gut. That's what they say. And a lot of these workers that are losing their jobs, there are jobs out there, but the jobs that are out there paying you what, $12, $13 an hour? You used to making $50, $40, $30 an hour. You can't live off of that.
You can't. All your expenses, okay, that you
Shit,
require,
your goddamn
are
mortgage,
predicated towards that.
probably $3,000. Your car payment probably $1,000.
Yep.
Your utilities probably $1,000.
Yep. Not to mention the children's college, you know.
Not to mention you probably still paying off your goddamn student loan.
Yep. Yep. Hey.
Oh, this place is through, man. It's beautiful. Beautiful time to be alive, man.
Yep.
So it says, weep and groan with anguish because of all the terrible troubles ahead of you. Your wealth is rotting away, and your fine clothes are moth-eaten rags. Your gold and silver have become worthless. Homie, richest prophet not in the day of judgment,
Uh-huh.
wrath. The very wealth you were counting on will eat away your flesh like fire. This treasure you have accumulated will stand as evidence against you on the day of judgment. For listen, hear the cries of the field workers, whom you have cheated out of their pay.
Yep.
The wages you held back cry out against you. Hence why everybody's protesting.
Yeah. Yep. Everybody's protesting.
The wages you held back cry out against you. The cries of those who harvest your fields have reached the ears of the Lord of Heaven's armies.
Yep.
You have spent your years on earth in luxury, satisfying your every desire.
Yeah.
You had whole pedophile islands. And nobody said a word.
Yep. Yep.
But guess what? God saw you. And 'tis the season of judgment. You have fattened yourselves for the day of slaughter. You have condemned and killed innocent people.
Yep.
Oh, that's a conspiracy. Adrenochrome. That's a conspiracy, right? The fuck out of here, man. All these goddamn children go missing. Where they at?
Yeah.
Who's doing that? They say human trafficking is the biggest business, man.
America's #1 in human trafficking. #1.
Chained up in some politician's basement, man.
Yep. Fact.
Chained up in Nancy Pelosi's basement.
Yeah. Facts.
That's how she stay alive. Draining the adrenochrome.
That's why she always looking like she on uppers or downers. Got a fresh dose.
That's what was keeping Creepy Joe alive, adrenochrome.
Yep.
It was in his fucking ice cream.
Yeah, all your elites, all your politicians living fat off the hog, man. The
You have-
Heavenly Father sees it.
You
Got
have
it.
condemned and killed innocent people who did not resist you.
Yeah.
The people are sheep, man. Shit, simple. You know what the Lord said? The simple believe every word.
Yeah.
All your lies, all your propaganda, all your skullduggery, the average Babylonian gobble it up.
Yeah.
And you just exploit them. Hence, predatory loans.
Hey, hey.
They don't realize the cards are stacked against them.
God.
They don't realize they're designed never to make it.
Yeah.
They don't realize they're designed to get, this system is designed to get you lost in it.
Yep.
You're supposed to get, as a Jake, you're supposed to get caught up in that judicial system and never get out of it.
Never get out.
You're supposed to acquire debt and never get out of it.
Yep.
You're supposed to go to your grave in debt, as most of us do. A lot of us be happy, oh, Big Mama died, the family arguing over the goddamn house, who gonna get the house?
Yep.
What'd you find out? Big Mama behind in fucking taxes.
Taxes.
And your black ass can't even afford to pay the taxes. So the
guess
bank
who get
take
the
it.
house. Yep.
That's the story of our people, man.
Yeah.
Constantly being bamboozled. But the beautiful thing is now Esau's being bamboozled by his own leader.
Yeah. That cruel king.
You got something?
Yeah, that Proverbs you said. This is Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath.
God don't want your riches.
Yeah.
God wants your soul. He wants you to repent. Sincerely. Turn back to him. But majority of you ain't. Most of you serving mammon. Most of you worshiping another God. The God of this world, which is money. Most of you, that's all you think about. Money, 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 money.
Yep.
How can I get more money? You can never have enough money.
Yeah. Riches.
The Lord said you can't serve two masters. Matter of fact, I'll get it. Hold on.
God.
You got it.
Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. Right. Because the issues of death belong to the Heavenly Father. Whether you know it or not, the Heavenly Father decides whether you live or whether you die. So it's in our best interest to do the things that are pleasing to the Heavenly Father to keep us alive and kicking day by day. Simple as that.
Matthew 6 and 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. And mammon is the god of money, the god of riches. And that's what most of these people worship. Hence why they sell their soul.
Yep.
They give up their Babylonian buns to get ballparked.
Mm-hmm.
They compromise their morals. They do something strange for a little piece of change. And what did Terrence Howard say? They can't live with themselves after it. Now they all on drugs.
Yep.
They're alcoholics.
Yep.
Because you gave up your morals. You sold your soul. The Lord said, hold me that, please. What shall it profit a man to sell his soul and gain the whole world?
Con.
Luke 16 and 13. No servant can serve two masters. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. So that's twice. The Lord said it twice. You got it?
Con. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
Prime example, look at Kanye West. What did Kanye say? Everybody laughed at him. He said his mother was a sacrifice.
Yep.
Everybody laughed him to scorn. But Kanye gained the whole world.
Yep.
He said that was his desire was to have Kim Kardashian.
Yep.
You know, and it came to fruition. Now look at him. Can't even see his own kids.
Fact.
Destroyed.
Fact. So it reads,
He walking around in a goddamn black KKK outfit.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
with a swastika going around his neck.
during that interview.
That's what happens when you sell your soul, man.
Yep.
You become completely bugged out. You become destroyed.
So it says, for what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
That's what really Jake wanted. Jake wanted to trim his way to seek love. Jake really wanted the admiration of this world, man, because this world hates us.
Yep.
This world looks down upon us, man. The LeBron Jameses, the Kendrick Lamars, the Nick Cannons, they want the admiration of this devil.
Yep.
They just want Esau to love him. That's really what they want.
Yeah.
They want some recognition for their hard work and their dedication to Babylon.
Yeah.
Please, Master, let me get a Grammy. Please, Master, let me get an Oscar. Let me get MVP, Master. You know?
Yep.
Please, Master, invite me to the White House.
It says,
But hey, the Lord said, this man is never satisfied. That's in Habakkuk. You can't please this devil. There ain't no pleasing him.
there is none.
If you don't have nothing, I'll come in.
Yeah, you got it.
Habakkuk, back in Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. Whose soul? This devil, Esau Edom.
Yep.
He's a proud man. Go read Obadiah. Tells you all about him.
Yep.
But the just shall live by his faith. We are the just. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Because all these nations gobble down his ideologies. He got all these nations in subjection. He got his foot on their necks. He's proud. But guess what? Now the weak are saying they're strong. The hammer of the earth is being broken asunder. These nations are clicking up against your ass. Hence the BRICS ally, the BRICS allegiance. Yea, he also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a Hey, when he went to Africa, what did he go with? That wine. He said, you wanna take part in this monetary system? Guess what, Nigeria? You're gonna have to accept this alphabet nasty lifestyle.
That rainbow community. Yep.
You're gonna have to change those laws in the sodomites, man.
Yep. That's what they
You wanna
said.
come and have a seat at this table, monetary table, you gotta drink this wine.
If you want to maintain your funding. Yep. Yep.
Neither, it says, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home. Hence why he's got military garrisons all throughout the world.
Yep.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell. And what does he do when he goes to your land? He puts hell upon your nation. He puts hell upon your economy. He puts hell upon your people. He puts usury on your ass.
Yeah.
He put that ibatiyat on your ass. Them heavy clay, that thick clay.
I bought you.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death. He's the red horse. He's the pale horse. He's the bloody and deceitful man. He is Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's sword. And cannot be satisfied. That's what our people don't understand. Ain't no pleasing this devil.
Ain't no pleasing.
But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. That thick clay is ibatiyat. Heavy pledges, heavy weights. Shall not they rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high. That's called capitalism. That's what capitalism is.
Yep.
That he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. Jump down to 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and established a city by iniquity. And that's how all his lands were established. By blood, by violence,
We got it, boy.
by deceit, by fraud. You got something?
Yeah, I'm grabbing it.
Come on. Go ahead, Op.
This is
144.
Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 15. It reads, he hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again.
That's the elites. These oligarchs, these Rothschilds, these Gettys, these DuPonts, Vanderbilts, Oppenheimers. And you know what? They hide themselves. They hide themselves behind these different conglomerations, these different corporations. They change their family names. Like a lot of you don't know, the Rockefellers, are actually Rothschilds. I
Con.
believe the Vanderbilts go back to the Rothschilds. They hide themselves because if people really knew who they were, they would be blood in the streets.
Con.
That's what happened in the ancient world in the past.
Pitchforks. And,
People were throwing them Amalekites out of their nations, man,
Yep. That's facts.
because they're a bunch of gangsters, frauds,
It says,
thieves,
he hath swallowed down riches.
robber barons. That's what they are, robber barons.
He hath swallowed down riches.
And who really are they robbing? The average peon.
Yep. Yep. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again.
Everything, all the wealth this devil acquired, he gonna vomit it up. All the gold, all the silver,
Yep.
all the plutonium, all the uranium, all the oil. He
All
gonna
of
gobble it up. I mean, he gonna vomit it up.
It says, he hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again.
Really,
Yeah.
really, that's what you see. It's a transition of wealth.
Yeah.
The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer.
Yep. It says, Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asp.
Shalom, brother, shalom.
The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey
He's not
and butter.
gonna get to sit down and enjoy his new world order.
Hun.
Because really that's what he's doing. He's collapsing his current fiat system, this paper money, funny money system, and he's ushering in a new digital system. No coinky-dink, all these nations have a central bank digital currency.
CBDC.
Because that's the wave.
That's the future.
But you
Yep.
gotta first collapse this global economy.
Yep.
You gotta do away with the paper money
Yep.
and bring in digital money, ones and zeros.
Yep.
Well, he'll have complete control. And he's been rolling it out right in front of you, gradually, because he deals with gradualism. Gradually getting you accustomed to doing away with your money and using digital money.
Yep. Yep. It says,
Hey, didn't Trump just say he about to do something with the damn, what did he say? I forget what he said. In April, when did he say? He just said some shit about the digital money. I forget what he said.
Trump's been on stablecoin for a minute, you know? I think he ran saying that he was against it, but they just passed legislation called
Yeah.
the Genius Act.
Because you know, again, a lot of these so-called MAGA constituents, they're onto the cryptocurrency. They're onto the elites.
Yep.
They know about the MOTB, the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. That's why they use Trump. Trump let them put their guard down. You know what I'm saying?
Con. It says,
Trump wouldn't deceive us. You know?
nah, man. Trump's our
He
man,
driving
and
a
he
foreign.
can't
He
do
driving
it.
a
No
Volvo.
one
He driving a
can.
foreign, bro. You know?
Oh,
He
Lord.
clean.
It says, that which he labored for shall he restore.
Since he been laboring since the Renaissance, he took great care. It was a crafty counsel.
Yeah.
You know?
A pinky in the brain
Now he
scheme.
about to finally sit down and, you know, kick back and enjoy, reap the rewards of all his hard work. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is gonna upset him.
Yep.
He's upsetting him now.
It
Hence
says,
why he's unstable.
facts. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall
The restitution.
the restitution be,
You gonna pay everything back. Matter of fact,
with interest.
I ain't bring this out in a long time. Go ahead, huh?
And he shall not rejoice therein, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not. Man, if this don't describe Esau Edom, who else could this be talking about, man? This is how this man acquired everything that he has.
Real quick. We ain't bring this out in a long time. Isaiah 60, verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Talking about us, Yasharallah. This is our last captivity. This is our last bid.
Yep.
Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is coming to bind their kings with chains of iron.
Fetters of iron.
Exactly. It says, therefore, thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night. That's in the kingdom.
Yep.
It says, therefore, thy gates shall be open continually. That it says, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
Woo.
That's the good news.
That's the good news.
That's the kingdom of heaven, with Yasharallah on top, and all
Man.
these heathens in subjection, and all the wealth they stole. They're gonna vomit it up. They're gonna bring it back,
This is Isaiah.
and they're gonna be happy to do it, man.
You damn right.
The ass whooping Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua finna put on them, they gonna be coming with a bending knee. The Lord said, every tongue and every knee shall bow and confess the Lord.
Got it right.
It's gonna be an honor to serve, man.
Yep. Isaiah 49 and verse 23. You read Isaiah 6. What did you just bring out?
60.
60. Isaiah 49 and verse 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and
Hey.
their queens
Hey,
thy
hey.
nursing mothers.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Our women were bed wenches,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
So
It's-
that's fair.
It's definitely fair.
That's Deuteronomy 30 and 7. All the curses that came upon us, gonna go upon them.
Facts. They shall bow down to thee
I
with
could
their
tell he was
face
a heathen
towards
way
the
he just
earth.
walked by and
The way
burped,
he was walking.
and burped that like a savage, man.
For real.
No decorum.
Heathen
A
written
brute
all over
beast.
him.
Go ahead, Hot.
It says, Isaiah 49 and 23, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth. And-
Ain't that fair? We can look at them, right? They gouge our goddamn eyes out.
Yep.
Keep your head down, boy. It's fair.
It's fair.
Where the hell is Paul Walker at? Where Johnny Cash at? He was humble today. He must have had some shares in the stock market.
God.
Yeah?
It says,
Yeah, preaching, hey.
no, he walked by today. He didn't say nothing.
I know, that's what I just said.
Yeah,
man.
God. Salakia. It says, they shall bow down to thee with their face towards the
I
earth.
guarantee you that's an Amalekite. I can tell that's an Amalekite by that laugh. I can tell that's an Amalekite. She looked at the sign and giggled.
The nose gave
Yeah, she had that
him
Jew
away.
nose.
God. They shall bow down to thee with their face towards the earth and lick up the dust of thy feet.
She gonna do that. She gonna eat that humble pie. Cause you damn sure not the people. Not with no goddamn stink city over there.
God.
The biggest sodomite parade every year, but you the people? Right. Right. God is gonna put us back in that land. Not no 1948 Balfour Declaration.
Yep.
And it ain't gonna be no goddamn state of Israel.
You know
A
what?
state is a condition.
Real quick, this is Ezekiel.
But first,
chap-
God is gonna clean that land. Cause it's defiled. Cause two heathens are fighting over that land. Defiling that land. So he's gotta sweep it with the best of my destruction. And what's the ultimate cleaning agent? Fire. Nothing cleans like fire. Hey, and it's beautiful what Bibby's doing. Oh, Mike Bibby. Benjamin, what's his name? Melchikowski or some shit like that.
Khan.
Again, they always change their goddamn names. You know? It's beautiful because what they're doing is galvanizing those Arab nations. You know?
Khan.
And we know what the Lord said about Ishmael. Ishmael's a wild man. You know?
Khan. I had this earlier, and but since it came back around, Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 2.
It's so funny. She was laughing too. Her own fucking people are divided. The Hasidic Jews, the Ashkenazi Jews.
Of course.
They all hate the goddamn Zionists, man.
All hate the Zionists.
They through, man.
Well, some of them leaving, some of them staying. It
They
says,
they just going AWOL.
yeah, yeah. It says, Ezekiel.
My bad, I ain't mean to play.
No, it's not you. 36 and 2. Thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy hath said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession.
Yeah, they in our land.
Yeah.
They got all the records. You know, they got all the architecture. They got, you know,
God.
hence the Archititus. That was
Yep.
commemorating them taking us down. You know?
Thus, therefore, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be.
They so much of a demon. Jake tried to go back over there. They put your ass on a goddamn nuclear base, man. A nuclear, you know what I'm saying?
Put your ass right beside the
over there at
nuclear power
yeah,
plant.
come on, man.
Yeah.
And force you to fight in their military.
God.
Simple.
Oh, man.
But that's what you get. Your black ass shouldn't be over there in the first place.
Yeah. It says, because they have made
There you go. There you go. You got his plate.
Oh, God.
There you go.
Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that they might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. So back to
Hold on. You gotta come in, brother. Then you go
Con.
right with that, bro. Salakia.
give me 1 second.
Isaiah 14 and start at 1. For the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, Yaquab, and will yet choose Israel, Yasharallah, and set them in their own land. Again, not no 1948 Balfour Declaration. God is going to set us back in our land. And that's what we're waiting on, per Zephaniah. Wait ye upon me till I rise up to the prey. For the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. That's talking about the Israelite foreigners, because Israel, we're scattered all throughout the four corners of the earth, and they're going to have Israelites coming back looking like some of these heathen nations. What they're seeing, their lineage according to their father goes back to one of the 12 patriarchs. All of Israel going to come back together and be one stick in the Lord's hand. Northern and southern kingdom, and the diaspora. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for servants and handmaids. We were talking about that earlier. These are the nations. They're going to be slaves. They're going to be tributaries. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
Done deal.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
Oh, man.
And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage. That's what Egypt is. Hard bondage. That's what America is. Spiritually, Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord was crucified. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear. Our life hang in doubt, man. They hunt our steps. Oh boy, Carmelo Anthony. Come on, son. We the ones that need saving. From who? Our enemies. our captors, our oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage. We have sown much but brought in little.
Facts.
The cries of your laborers who have reaped down your fields have entered to the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. And from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, DJ Trump. He's a king. Talking about he's gonna run for a third term. Sound like some kingly shit to me.
It definitely does.
He's the cruel Lord. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
Facts.
The Lord Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. That's what we're waiting on. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth in singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee. And the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Yep.
Who's cutting down all the goddamn trees? Who's behind deforestation? Who's cutting down the lungs of this earth? Rhetorical question. You already know. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. Hence why these nations are gathering. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is mustering the host of the battle. He's gathering these nations for the third woe, the third world's war. It have raised up their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Remember, it's going into the king of Babylon. DJ Trump looking weak, unstable, like a madman. Gotta keep backpedaling, talking all type of shit, but gotta recant his statements. You're looking real weak. Thy pomp, which is your pride, thy pomp is brought down to the grave. But you said, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Yep.
There is no throne.
Through.
These Babylonians ain't so goddamn proud no more. These Edomites ain't so proud no more. Only a few dummies that can't see what's happening. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Your infrastructure is decaying, dilapidated, financially, physically, spiritually. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Yep.
And remember, one of the definitions of heaven and hell are conditions that play out on the earth.
Con.
Esau is in his heaven. We are in our hell. But guess what? It's a change of worlds. Now you in hell. Now you catching hell. Now you going through your worst nightmare. And it's only getting worse. And guess what? We walking on sunshine, baby. We don't have Monday blues. We can't wait for Monday. We can't wait for the stock exchange to reopen. We can't wait to see that shit get even more volatile.
Yeah, buddy.
See, he's catching hell. Look at him shaking his head. His worst nightmare. Yeah, you through. Through Stu. Through Stu.
My grandmother's curtains look great on you.
What? Your grandmother what?
His grandmother's garments. I think he said his grandmother's garments look great.
That was a real good one, Sleazy. The regular George Carlson, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
He should be on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, man.
It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? How did they weaken the nations? With their democracy? With their capitalism? With their feminism? I always say that alternative nasty lifestyle, that wine, it destroyed these nations.
Yep.
The nations were a lot better off before they got entangled with Esau.
Of course.
For thou saidest in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. Yeah, we're gonna go to Mars.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back to the moon, right?
Ascend into heaven.
For thou saidest
Yeah.
in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt, this is why I wanted it. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God, of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Yep.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Yep.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble? Is this the same nigga that dropped bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
Yep.
This the same nigga that was dropping bombs over Baghdad? Can't be. Can't be.
High as the hammer of the whole earth brought asunder.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee. And when you narrowly look upon somebody, you're looking at them with disgust, sideways. You know?
Yep.
That's how your allies looking at you. That's how these Canadians looking at you. Talking about you're gonna make Canada the 51st straight. These Canadians talking about fuck you.
Yep.
We boycotting everything out of America.
Yep. Fact.
These Europeans, they boycotting everything out of America. You through. You through,
Completely
Stu.
through. Completely through.
You in a quagmire. You're in a pickle. You stepped in it. Hence why the debt clock is accelerating even more.
Done.
They said $1 trillion every 100 days, bro. The debt is increasing $1 trillion every 100 days. How you gonna get yourself out that debt?
I don't think that
Ain't nothing left to do but to implode this system,
Yeah.
to cash out.
Yep.
You are insolvent.
Count your
You're
losses.
bankrupt.
Yep.
And you have no more friends besides Mike Bibby. That's your last friend. And he's leading you to your demise.
Your demise.
How much time we got?
No, it's time. It's
Okay.
time.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners?
Yep.
All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch. Esau, Edom, the only nation that's not promised mercy. You're the only nation that's gonna get wiped off the face of the earth after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery. And it's warranted. And we can't wait. The Wadi Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap up. Again, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakam Kodash. Shalom to you sincere Akim out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. Shalom to the few sincere Akwath that are out there listening and learning as well. Shalom.
Wa Abad Babal.
Kwam Yasharallah.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom.